very late tear. So
that was January.
This is all going to be predicated on how long Jared Goff is the quarterback there, because Jameson Williams is fantastic. He's a crazy good deep threat. Jared Goff cannot throw the ball deep, and that's just abundantly clear, right? So, I mean, Jameson Williams comes back. The best you can expect out of him with Jared Goff there is Williams is going to be taking the top off the defense, and he's going to be basically taking some coverage away from people like St. Brown and Hawkinson coming underneath. So there's not going to be a lot of production there. But, who knows? Next year, the Lions are probably going to be in the market for a quarterback. Maybe he gets paired back up with Bryce Young. How about that? Wouldn't that be sexy? And then that's a steal. That's going to be a steal at number 9 then. But, okay, well, great prospect.
Yeah, obviously you're not drafting him in redraft leagues. But in Dynasty, if you're looking over the 3-year term here, like that's where your mind frame is, then definitely could end up being a huge asset.
Number 9 was just too good a value to pass up there. He's going like, top 4 or 5 for sure in most of these Dynasty rookie drafts. I actually had 9 guys picked out that I would have been fine taking in the first round, and he was one of them. And of course, he was there at number 9, and I'm like, there's no way that this guy passes up on him, and he didn't. So all of my 9 guys were gone, and then number 10 rolls around, and I kind of had to settle for a guy that I didn't necessarily want, but I kind of had to take him because I'm a running back guy, and I think that the upside is there. James Cook at number 10 to Buffalo, very similar to Devin Singletary. Not a traditional 3-down prototypical running back that you would like to get, but who knows? I mean, the Bills, they kind of tried that. They tried that with Zach Moss. Frank Gore was there too, right? In Buffalo, and just didn't work. So they seem to do better with the guy like Devin Singletary. And James Cook is that kind of guy, catch the ball out of the backfield, get him in space. And, Singletary's going to be gone next year. So James Cook has an opportunity to take over this backfield. How valuable that will be, I don't know. But the upside, gotta imagine, is there.
Definitely. Moss is not somebody you can rely on. I can't tell you how many times last year he got scratched several times as a healthy player. So just not valued in the way that you would hope for someone like him. So, yeah, I think Cook, again, looking long-term, could fill in as a starter as early as next year.
And, I mean, if Singletary gets hurt, then, Zach Moss is going to be relegated to the hot dog stand selling footlongs. So, a lot of upside there. My other options were I could have gone with a wide receiver.
Though, too. Don't forget Duke Johnson.
Oh, another kind of guy like that, right? Like a third down back kind of guy.
It seems like all their running backs are the exact same player.
They tried it with Frank Gore already, man. For some reason that didn't work out at the ripe age of 57 or however old he was. But my other options, I could have gone with a wide receiver here, but I was looking at George Pickens. I can't really do that because I already have too many fucking Steelers already. And then Jahan Dotson was also on my radar, but I just don't like the fit there in Washington. Steve, is this your boy? Should I have gone with Jahan Dotson over James Cook?
I feel bad. The local kid, we talked about it all week in the group chat from Nazareth. I hate the fit for him as well. I feel like if there's one team you just didn't want to see him go to, like I'm cool with the fact, like when you really look past everything else, like, all right, he basically gets to stay local, right? It's not moving very far. But I just think it's a terrible fit for him. I think Big Kyle did some good things here as far as picking both these guys up, Dotson and Pickens. I thought Pickens was a good play for your pick there at number 10? But like you said, the position really didn't dictate it because of how many Steelers you were rolling out every week. Dotson's shifty, right? He might have himself a little slot role there. You can't think of a team that's had more inconsistent quarterback play, right? Because even the Lions in recent memory, Stafford, the Dolphins, I think Tua sucks, but how many starting quarterbacks have the Washington Commanders had over the last 5 years? Like 9 different quarterbacks? It's crazy.
It's a lot. Carson Wentz is probably, sad to say, the best quarterback they've had since Kirk Cousins. Yeah, he's such a baller. That really sucks too, because we watched Dotson, right, man? We watched him every week, and that guy is just such a good football player. But if Terry McLaurin can't even produce in that offense, do you have any hopes for Jahan Dotson, Matt?
I'm hopeful.
You like to see him do well as a Penn State fan.
I would, yeah, personally.
Want to see him break his fucking neck as a Giants fan?
And honestly, we might be looking at this all wrong. Maybe this is the perfect fit for him. Maybe in an offense that can't actually spread it down the field, maybe he's going to average like 7-8 catches a game. Those 7-8 catches might only go for 42 yards, but hell, 7-8 catches a game, I'll take that.
I mean, they still got Curtis Samuel there, right?
That guy can't stay on the field either.
McLaurin, but still, they got Logan Thomas.
Also injury prone.
And who's the running back?
Antonio Gibson.
I mean, he's basically a wide receiver out of the backfield too. So it's just
McKissick is a great
McKissick.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He catches footballs, right? So it's just a
Carson Wentz is going to have 700 completions this year for 450 yards.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. 2.8 yards a clip. So that's why I didn't go Jahan Dotson. You know, there was another running back actually I was kind of looking at here. Actually went number 12. I don't think that I even thought for a second about taking him over James Cook, but Dameon Pierce in Houston, that backfield's kind of wide open, right? And he's a 3-down type of traditional back that you look for in an ambiguous backfield. I think that that's a pretty good value pick. I mean, he has a chance to be a starting running back in the NFL. Granted, it's on the Texans, but Matt?
Oh, you know I'm on the Dameon Pierce train. We've already talked about that, so yeah, I love him. Roast beef curtains, let him go already, so.
God damn it. You were right, Steve. Like, what's the point of even drafting? Just let these guys draft everybody and then just trade for them if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I can go get any one of those guys that I want right now.
Pretty good.
Especially in this week class.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I want to move over to the next pick, and you actually need a running back. So maybe you go out and try to trade for this guy, your boy, Rachaad White, to the Bucks. How do you feel about that, dude?
Be honest with you, running backs don't excite me, right? So like, okay, Rachaad White might turn out to be a nice piece, or Tom Brady might absolutely stomp the confidence out of him. You never know how it's going to go. So I like the fact that Rats was thinking, this is obviously more of a long-term play. Obviously, this is where Dynasty is Dynasty, because Fournette's back, right? So Rachaad White doesn't come in and have this immediate impact. You still have Keyshawn Vaughn there. You still have Leonard Fournette. Tom Brady is not the type of guy that's going to be out here rolling out rookies in his fucking 36th year in the league. He just doesn't have the patience for it, right? So White's not going to have an immediate impact. They're going to stick with what they know, which is why they brought Fournette back. But I like the pick. We'll see what happens.
Fournette, by the way, is on a 3-year deal. This is going to be the first of 3 years. And he actually just turned 27 in January, surprisingly. He feels a lot older than that. So
I thought that guy was like 40.
yeah, he feels a lot.
Yeah,
He's been in the league for a while.
His birth certificate's written in Crown.
1995, this guy was born. Man, we are getting old. But, I mean, they're actually kind of similar players.
He's had a beard since he was 8.
You know, the thing you look at Rachaad White, you look at this pick and you think to yourself, okay, let's give this guy some third down reps, catch the ball out of the backfield. But Leonard Fournette is really good at that himself. He doesn't seem like he is, but I mean, Leonard Fournette is really good catcher of the football, right? So this just seems like more of a depth piece, the Rachaad White pick. I probably honestly may have taken Isaiah Spiller over Rachaad White, who went with the next pick. Isaiah Spiller he's one injury away from taking over the lead role.
Did you happen to see the story behind Rachaad White though? I guess after he was drafted by the Bucks, later in that round, a team actually called him and said that they were drafting him, even though he was already drafted.
Good for him, man. My boy.
This motherfucker almost got drafted twice.
ASU Sun Devils. I mean, he's a good football player. He was very productive last year. I think he had oh my God, I don't even remember, 1,500 yards or something like that.
No, listen, I'm not knocking his productivity from the collegiate level, right? Because it speaks for itself. But you got to look at the fit here. The fit is long term because, like I said, Tom Brady just isn't going to have the patience for any of this rookie nonsense.
Yeah, that's why I probably would have gone with a guy like Isaiah Spiller over him. You imagine Isaiah Spiller is going to get some reps in that offense, right? Justin Jackson is gone. He sucked anyway. So
yeah, they still have Joshua Kelly, who hasn't been able to really stay healthy. Eckler has had questions with health as well.
He's a tiny guy. I mean, you can't feed him, like a workhorse. So yeah, I think that's a really good pick. I think Isaiah Spiller. Oh my God, what a save, dude! This hockey game is really good. 0-0. Anybody like a good defensive battle?
Dude, the under every game in this series, I feel like.
Man, these goaltenders playing really well. And then George Pickens, Steve, you actually mentioned him going to the Steelers. I mean, he's a really nice prospect, right? He's like that number one guy that they may have been looking at when they drafted Chase Claypool. Kind of really didn't pan out so much. They needed some depth at wide receiver. They got it, and I think this could probably he would probably work really well opposite of Deontay, who plays more that Z role. Actually, no, Deontay gets moved all around, but Pickens on the outside, number one wide receiver. I think that that was a good pick. Also, I think that that's actually really good value. The beginning of the second round there.
This guy is a menace. This guy is everything that Pittsburgh football stands for. I mean, he was bullying corners in the SEC. Like, he would look to the sideline and be like, especially his run blocking. It was incredible. This guy is going to be a force. And honestly, he's going to be the reason why Chase Claypool kind of just fizzles out. I love his toughness. I love his grit. I think this was a monster value pick here for Big Kyle. I love George Pickens. You got to always, with these rookies, it's all about where they're drafted to, right? That Pickett to Pickens deal is going to be a big thing for years to come.
Yeah, can we actually talk about 1 second that Kenny Pickett pick?
Yeah, it was like the only one you got right.
Let me just say this: we're gonna get into. I want to get into some sleepers and some teams that did well and teams that blew it. I just want to say, Matt, I have no idea why you passed up Kenny Pickett there. at number 11 in the second round. I mean, you have Justin Fields as your starting quarterback, right? Kenny Pickett was sitting there like, please just take me. Number 24.
Small hands, bro.
That's your issue with him?
Hands.